back for Arfield. One over leg. Scott Arfield. He's been threatening that recently. And all the Burnley players run to the Darwin end. Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Robbie Blake! Burnley's first goal in the Premier League is something very, very special.
Wade Elliott has that change of pace and he's got away from Montgomery. It's the path of McCann and the follow-up finds the net. What a strike from Wade Elliott! A bolt from the claret and blue.
Oh goodness me! What a goal from Patterson! If that is to be the one that takes them to Wembley, you cannot argue with that. Pure quality.
Here goes Mike Conroy. Still time for a winner, maybe. John Francine! They came to York in their thousands. They're going home as champions.
I mean, if there's any justice in the world, Burnley would surely score from this corner. Swung right in there. Ball in there. Yeah! Michael Kelly! Oh, that's justice! That is justice at the Amex Stadium. Burnley are level and deserve to be.
Hello everyone, welcome along to another episode of the Turfcast podcast pre-game show with me, Joe Redmond, ahead of a massive game for the Clarets tonight at Villa Park. And it's going to be a tough one because, you know, they dicked us 10 days ago. So if you don't want to play a team, you don't want to play a team that's recently dicked you, do you? But, you know, Villa can be hit and miss. And I know a few Villa fans will agree with me. Apologies, my camera seems to be having one of these mad moments. And we do have a Villa fan with me. And we're going to bring him in live. If we can. There we go. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Good. Good to be here.
Yeah. I'm obviously conscious that you need to get off at around 1:45. So what we are going to do is we're going to do the Villa chat first, everybody, and then we'll bring in that with me where I stress about the league table and stuff afterwards. So like I said then in the intro, obviously you breezed past us pretty easily at Turf Moor, 10 days ago. Your front three were too good for us, too much pace. We defended too high. Hopefully, we'll learn from that, and you know we'll defend a little bit deeper this time. But it must give you bags and bags and bags of confidence going into a game when you've beaten a team quite easily 10 days ago.
It's a weird one because it's so late in the season. It's almost like you could think of it two ways. That yes, we could have loads of confidence to say, yeah, look, we could go in here and we were 3-0 up or whatever. You know, we were playing really well against Burnley, but then obviously you brought on Cornet and he gets that cancellation goal. But you can think of it two ways. That yes, we can go into it full of confidence, or you can go into it thinking, look, Burnley are going to have our number now, because I would imagine we're going to play exactly the same team. I don't know, does Coutinho start for Villa? I think they'll probably play Buendia today. I think they might even play Buendia and Coutinho together. Who knows? But, you know, it's for me, I'm not overly confident. I don't think even as being an Aston Villa fan this year, you can be confident going into any game, which is weird because we've been the epitome of blah this season. We've won 3 in a row and then we go in and we lose 5 in a row. And everybody's up in arms and everyone said sack Steven Gerrard, sack Dean Smith and everything, you know. So it's been pretty mad. Whereas you guys have been, I hope you don't mind me saying it, you know, there's been like you guys have started on a level, you've got to continue it through. And I must say that there must be Watford fans looking at Burnley at the moment going, oh my God, how come they can get rid of their brilliant manager just like 6 games out or 7 games out from the end of the season and get a massive bounce to keep them almost in the league? And, you know, fingers crossed you guys do stay in the league.
Yeah, obviously the Leeds fan in the chat, and he's already said nothing personal, lads, but come on, Villa. But yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think you are, you know, like I said earlier, hit and miss. That sometimes, like you said, you'll be class, and then after that, you're not very good. I think before you beat us at the Turf, you'd lost about 4 in a row, something like that. So fingers crossed, you know, you are on the beach now. Because I think that game at the Turf, them 3 points made sure that you were 100% safe. There was no real doubt in my mind that you were going down, but that were 100% you safe. So could you easily get back into like another sort of like a slump of bad form for the last 2 games, please?
Well, put it this way, I don't think there's been so many eyes on Villa at all this season since Steven Gerrard came in, but we've got a say in the relegation battle tonight, and we've got a say in the title battle on Sunday,
Yeah.
so it's like everybody wants to be Aston Villa's friend.
Yeah, well, we I know Leeds fans obviously are buzzing for you. Everton will be as well. We're kind of hoping that you just we want to be your friend as well. Just don't beat us. But you've mentioned there you might play Coutinho and Buendia. That scares me. I'm not going to lie. I've noticed a lot on the Villa socials and stuff. There does tend to be this clambering for that pairing, but Gerrard doesn't seem to do it. Is there any particular reason?
I think it's really because he wants to build partnerships, and I'd say realistically, since Leicester, since we played Leicester maybe about 4 weeks ago. I think what he's kind of looked at is he said, look, I want to try and form partnerships. He wants to get more solid in the middle of midfield. And he thinks probably the best way to do that is by playing Danny Ings, because as you guys will know, Danny Ings is a workhorse of a striker. Sometimes he doesn't get the credit for that. He's probably finding the ire of Aston Villa fans at the moment because he's missed a couple of chances, missed a chance against Liverpool, missed a couple of chances at the weekend against Crystal Palace. A win against Crystal Palace would have catapulted us up into the top half of the table, and we would have been looking at maybe finishing 9th, 10th, which would have been great. Now we're sitting in 14th position. And I know, obviously the fans don't want to finish in a lower position than we finished last season. So, it's one of those games whereby Gerrard is saying we're going to go full-blooded and we're going to protect the integrity of the Premier League tonight and not play our under-23 team, unfortunately. But it's going to be an interesting one tonight, I think. But I would say that Aston Villa will be there for the taking. Although, once again, last home game, mad things happen in those games as well. So I really, it's like, because of the way that we only played you guys 10 days ago, because of the way that we don't really have anything to play for, but we've got somebody who's I'm going to call him a bit pig-headed at times, Steven Gerrard over us. He's Mr. Competitive. You just don't know what way he's going to go. And we're learning him, and he's learning us, and he's learning the Premier League. And, he's not going to want to play, a weakened team tonight. So it'll be really, it's really going to be, getting back to the question that you asked, it's really going to be about where does he want to see those partnerships develop. It was a big part of his remit when he came in was to get Watkins and Ings firing together. They have done sporadically over the last 5 or 6 games. Now he's going to have to see how he's going to implement the 17 million pound man in Coutinho and obviously the 35 or 38 million pound man in Buendia together, because fans are clamoring for that too. So it's going to be interesting tonight.
Yeah, fingers crossed you don't actually try that tonight, but I won't worry too much about Danny Ings. He loves a goal against Burnley, as you saw 10 days ago. He scored against us a couple of times for Southampton as well. So I just think he's one of them, like you said, like we might have your number because we played you 10 days ago. I think he's the same. He's got our number. But obviously you kind of touched on it there briefly, saying Gerrard's Mr. Competitive and stuff, and you don't think he's going to play the under-23s. Do you not think, there's a comment here from Garros who says, can we get his opinion on whether Villa will hold back for Sunday? You don't think that's going to happen then?
I don't. And I think if we do, I think there might be some changes. Our back four won't change. Ezri Konsa is now injured. We're going to have to play Callum Chambers in there. Usually he likes to interchange Konsa and Chambers because he's trying to get to see who had the better partnership once again with Mings is back there. I think we're going to see one, if not two, centre halves come in at Aston Villa during the summer. There's just a lot of clamour for it at the moment. I think if we are to see any changes, it will be in midfield. But once again, it might be the likes of bringing in, maybe you might start at Tim Irugbounum, one of our academy graduates, played against Norwich. He might play Carney Chukwuemeka. He might bring in a Morgan Sanson. So, it's not going to be somebody that just comes in out of the blue somewhere. It's going to be something that he's done before. He just wants to have another look at it again. I don't see wholesale changes in the main for this game. I'm not expecting an Ashley Young at left back, that kind of a situation. I think we're going to go pretty steady and pretty solid. But then again, sometimes our team go out and they just don't show up. That's not been a curse on a manager, the team that we put out. It's a curse of lack of leadership in the field within our team, and that's absolutely huge. Actually, that's a good point from Nathan there. Martinez as well. Apparently, that could be one big spanner in the works, I suppose, for Steven Gerrard. Apparently, he does have some sort of a nerve injury in his knee. Trapped nerve in and around his knee, and there is talks that it is, it's probably 50-50 whether he plays, but Robin Olsen is our backup goalkeeper, Swedish international, so he hasn't gotten any game time for us this season. Now, he signed in January. So he would be an able deputy. He's a bloody hulk of a man, but I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you if he's any good in goals or not
Yeah.
at the Premier League level.
Yeah. Just for those listening on the podcast later, obviously Nathan there asked it on screen live on YouTube. Can you ask about the Konza and Martinez injuries and how that'll affect the team? But it's interesting that Martinez one, because I saw Gerrard say he could be out, and then the tweet pretty much after it from the same page, it was a Villa page, not the official account, I can't remember, said we think he's probably going to be okay though. So do you think it's a case of he might rest him for Sunday, or do you think he'll be there?
Yeah, he's somebody that they could manage. I don't even know if he manages him for Sunday. I suppose realistically, like, do we really want to see Jack Grealish lift the Premier League title Sunday? It's just one of those ones. I jest and I say that because I'm a big Grealish fan, and what he did for us was just fantastic, and he's a local Birmingham Villa boy as well. But that competitive spirit that Gerrard has, he's going to want to go out there. He's got his incentive for Liverpool winning the league as well, and also he has an incentive that he would send home fans very happy, because there are some fans that don't want to see Grealish lift the Premier League at the weekend. But there's a lot of rumours that went out about that with regards to Villa getting a £15 million windfall if City win. They're all rubbish.
I saw the drama on the Villa hashtags. I saw someone tweet it, then delete it, then apologise for it, and I was just sat there laughing, thinking someone's been spreading lies and got called.
And I wouldn't mind. It was picked up by TalkSport. It was picked up by, I think, Michael Richards got caught by it in TalkSport or something like that as well. Yeah, I saw something there. I could be wrong on that, but it filtered its way into the media pretty quickly, and then there was a lot of reverse turns on it.
Interesting. Like I said, I know you're desperate to go. So just a last couple of questions. How are you at breaking teams down that sit back? Because Burnley, I can do that pretty well. Last time out, we played 4-4-2 against you, but defended too high up the pitch. That's why you scored the first goal, which was far too easy. And the third goal was, we were pushing. So fair enough. Charlie Taylor could have done better with picking his man. I think it was Watkins up. But against Spurs, we went 5-3-2 and pretty much sat back. Would have got the point if it wasn't for the controversial penalty decision. How do you think you'll do against a team playing 5 at the back with 3 in front and just sitting on the edge of the box?
I'm terrified of it, because even though and that's why I think he's going to play Coutinho and Buendia, because we need to try something different. Because all we've done this season is pass the ball around in front of that 3 and that 5, go wide, cross the ball in, and we've got Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins in there, and they're not exactly known for their heading prowess, so we're not very good at it all. We can be like Watford did it to us at the start of the season. Watford did it to us earlier on in the season, or later on in the season as well. We lost 1-0 to Watford. They caught us on the break. We're an incredibly indisciplined team when we have to try and break down a team. It's comical how indisciplined our 2 centre backs are, how indisciplined our midfield can be when we have to try and break down a team and be patient. We have zero patience. And I think that probably comes from the fact that we really are kind of a counter-attacking team, or we were under Dean Smith. So I'm expecting you guys to play 5 at the back. I'm expecting probably Kevin Long, Nathan Collins. Nathan Collins, by the way, is an absolute star, and I've been saying it for about 4 or 5 years. Absolutely, I've been saying it for about 4 or 5 years. He is the next big thing in Irish football. Obviously, you can tell I'm Irish. I absolutely love him. He comes from a massive footballing family in Ireland, and he's brilliant. I really like him. But I think he's going to be in there, and probably Matty Loughton, other centre half.
It's I've been told some rumours that I've said on the rumour is, this is just a rumour, that James Tarkowski is back tonight. That's a rumour I've heard. The media hasn't picked up on it, so like I said, it is just a rumour. So I would think it'd be a case of him coming in for probably Lawton, which I think is harsh on Lawton, but you can understand why, because you'd get rid of the one that's not a natural centre back and keep the 3 natural centre backs in there. But yeah, everybody loves Collins in Burnley. We've been pleasantly surprised by him. I was on the Fans Bet Premier League show yesterday, probably my last appearance, or potentially my last appearance on the Premier League show, talking about Nathan Collins. They asked me what my shining light in the season was, and I said Nathan Collins. I think he's absolutely class. He's an absolute Rolls Royce. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see. And if we are in the Championship, we'll probably concede about 3 goals all season with him at the back, to be honest, because he is sensational. But quickly, just before I do let you go, a quick prediction.
I think Burnley are going to come and get something out of this. I think it's going to be a draw.
Yeah,
I think you're going to get a point, and I think it's going to bring you level on points with Leeds going into the last game. Obviously, Leeds' diabolical goal difference record is massively in your favour. I think a draw is probably on the cards tonight. I think there might be goals in it, though. I think it'll be 1-1 draw. I think Villa will look to score, but I think that Burnley, I could just see I don't know, Weghorst bundles one in at the back post from a corner because we can't defend those either, and everybody goes home happy with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, well, we definitely will go home happy with a 1-1 draw. We have a lot of injuries, as Chris says. We will be buzzing with that, and obviously it brings us back level with Leeds, like you said, and then all we have to do is match them on the final day. But just before I do let you go as well, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you so they can subscribe and listen and that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. If there's anyone there that wants to catch up on Villa news or anything, you can find us on For the Love of Paul McGrath is the name of the podcast, for obvious reasons. I'm Irish. Paul McGrath, he's just the greatest defender. We spoke about a great Irish defender, Nathan Collins. Hopefully he can be the next Paul McGrath, because that man behind me up here, where is he? Up there. Best defender to ever lace up a pair of boots. So that's why I named the podcast as it is. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. Anywhere you can find it, any of the audio podcast platforms as well. It's For the Love of Paul McGrath, and we're the only one out there. So once you find us, you'll find us.
Yeah, happy days. You're a great talker, mate. It's always good to get you on, and hopefully one day we'll be having a podcast called For the Love of Nathan Collins, where we can join together and have some Nathan Collins. But thanks for joining us, mate, and good luck
much,
for
guys.
the rest of the season, but not tonight. So
not game. Tonight. Exactly. Mind yourselves.
Cheers,
good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. So there we have it. That was For the Love of Paul McGrath. I've spoke with him before. I really do enjoy chatting with him. He's a good talker. And one thing I was going to say earlier on, I didn't want to say while he was on, because obviously I was aware of the Irish roots and stuff, is unlucky to Rangers last night. I do feel a little bit sorry for Rangers. It's never nice losing on penalties. I know there'll be people in who like Celtic and stuff. I don't like Rangers. I just feel sorry for them, and especially Scotty Arfield. So. Shout out to Rangers fans, but now they know how it feels to lose on penalties. Hopefully my camera stops freezing so much, because what I am going to do is now I'm going to do the bit where I look at the league table, panic, and things like that. But I've also seen a lot of comments coming in that I will be looking at in a minute. I didn't want to do it while he was on because there were a lot of Burnley chat, and I just wanted to get his Villa opinions on there. I knew there'd be someone in the comments who wanted Frankfurt to win. But I've seen a lot of comments coming in. Carl Oze says, I've supported Burnley for 29 years. This is the most important game ever. I feel it is a must win. Hopefully Tarky is back. Like I said, mate, there are some rumours that Tarky is back, but that is just a rumour. Fingers crossed that he is. It is an early stream. I did see that comment earlier from you, Nathan. It is an early stream for me. Like I said, it's a big day for Burnley, so I thought I'll have a big day on the channel. 3 live streams. I'm going to do this one live. I'm going to do the watch along live. And then, of course, the full-time show live. Nathan, if you want to come on the full-time show and you're still here and you're still watching, please feel free. It's probably a little bit late. I know you've got a young baby, boy, girl. So fair enough if you can't do it. Anyone else wants to come on the show? Garros, if you're still here. Simon's on it. I'm going to ask Johnny again later. But again, it might be a little bit late for Johnny. But anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, as you can see, the league table is now on your screen. I don't know if it's too small for you. So what I'll do, I'll just make it a little bit bigger. There we have it. Right. So, of course, forget Watford. We can cut them out. We can cut them out because they're gone. They're dead. They're buried. So it's Burnley on 18th, 1 point behind Leeds United on 34 points. And Leeds are in 17th on 35 points. Everton, who are also playing tonight, they are on 36 points. So that brings me on to the latest comment from Connor. Would you happily take a draw then? Yes, it gives us back it being at the minute it's in our own hands. Right now it is in our own hands because we can go to Villa, get a result. If we win the next 2 games, we are 100% safe. Fact. If we get 4 points in the next 2 games, we are 99.9999 recurring pretend that we're going to be safe because Leeds would need to beat Brentford at 20-0. It isn't going to happen. So you can say 100%, but just for that one molecule of it maybe not happening, I'm just going to say 99.999. That just shows my mentality and how little confidence I have in certain things. But yeah, when you look at that league table, Connor, of course I take a draw. It brings us back into it having been in our own hands. Because obviously, if we lose tonight, then we can win on the final day of the season and still go down. You don't want that. Fingers crossed as well, like I said, because Everton are playing tonight. I'm sure you're all aware. They've got Crystal Palace at home. I'm sure they'll have the blue flares out, and I'm sure they'll have the Goodison dog out again. I don't know if you've seen it, but they've been carrying dogs around Goodison or something like that to give them some good luck or whatever. So fingers crossed we can we can get a point tonight because Leeds is the important one. Obviously, I will be watching the Everton game tonight on the watch along. Obviously, the Burnley game. I mean, I'm watching the Burnley game, but I will be keeping an eye on the Everton game. So it's one of them. Fingers crossed that they can get beat by Palace. Or let's just have a look at the league table again. I will look at it because Everton are on 36. So if they draw, they'll be on 37. So even if we lose and they draw, they can still be dragged into it because our goal difference is better than theirs slightly, only slightly. I can't work it out because it doesn't. I've just actually have the goal difference on here. It tells you how many goals we've scored, and my maths is shit, so I'm not even going to sit here and try and work it out. But it's one of them. It's one of them. There's a lot of permutations. We've all worked out the different sort of ones in our heads. I won't bore you with doing it too much now. But we need a point tonight. We need a point tonight. Fingers crossed we can get a point tonight. A win would be fantastic. Nobody thought we were going to go to Brighton and Dickham so easily. So fingers crossed we can do that to Villa because Brighton are above Villa in the table. So by that logic, they are a better side. So fingers crossed, we can do something like that. We just need to play. We can take a lot of confidence from the Spurs game. I won't go too much into the handball because I know it's gone, I know it's done, and it was a controversial topic anyway. A lot of people were saying, oh, blah, 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 by the letter of the law, it is handball. Yes, by the letter of the law, it is handball, but the law's fucking stupid. People saying that their arms was in an unnatural position, and I get that, but define unnatural. If you're trying to maintain balance, that arm isn't an unnatural position. If you're pushed, as he was, and you're going like that, that's not an unnatural position, is it? Because that's exactly what happened. But, Burnley fans decided to jump on Ashley Barnes and call him, all the names under the sun. Not all of them, just certain ones, which was pretty uncalled for. But I am pretty confident that he's starting again tonight. I believe Jay's not made it. Believe Tarke. The rumour is he'll be in, so fingers crossed. Mike Green says, are you going Sunday? Yes, mate. Season ticket holder. Not looking forward to it. Don't particularly want to go, but I'm going to go. It's one of them where I'd rather fall asleep now, wake up on Monday, and it all be done, safe or not. I just can't be arsed. I work in Leeds as well, by the way, so I've got to go and put up with all these Leeds fans. And there's one in here. There's one in the chat, and he says it's a huge night tonight for all concerned. It is. And Chris, I didn't realise that. Everton start 15 minutes earlier than us. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start my watch along 15 minutes earlier than planned. I'm going to go into it now, start it 15 minutes earlier than planned, watch the Everton game for the first 15 minutes. I've got 2 TVs in here anyway, so I can have Everton. My camera's froze, so when it unfreezes, you can see. I've got a TV there. There you go. And then my computer's here, so I can watch stuff on here and watch stuff on there. So I'll have both games on the watch along tonight. So please feel free to join me. And yeah, just going back to the handball, Connor says, agreed, it's a natural position for someone regaining the balance. It is. And that's exactly what I said in my Lanks Live column this week. And it seemed to do quite well. So if you haven't watched it, listen to it, read it. Then fingers crossed, you can go and read it now. It's just go to Lanks Live and just go on Claret, you'll find it. Louis Cross says, J-Rod is fit to play. If he is, get him up front. I'd start Veghorst, set him up front. I'd drop both. Me personally, this is my team for tonight. Let me know your comments. We'll discuss the team for tonight. Let me know in the comments who you would have in the team tonight. If the rumours are true that Tarky is fit, which I believe they are, and the rumour that Louis has just put in the chat now, apologies if it's Louis or Lewis, has put in the chat now that J-Rod is fit to play. This is the team that I would play. In goal, Wayne Hennessy. Joking. In goal, obviously, Nick Pope. Then I'd play 5 at the back. So you'd have Charlie Taylor on the left. Collins, Tarkett, and you know what? I'd have Lawton in there. And interesting, Garros has just said the exact same thing. I would have, my back 5 would be Taylor, what have I just said? Taylor, Collins, Tarkett, Lawton. And then at right back, I'd have Roberts. That made my back 5. I trust Lawton more than I trust Kevin Long. I know it's harsh because Kevin Long is an official centre-back. Lawton isn't. He has played there before in his career, and he played very well against Spurs. He was better than Long in that game. There was a couple of occasions where Long got turned too easily. So I would have that as my back 5. Let me know in the comments below if you agree. Connor says, I'd like Lawton as one of the CBs. Enjoyed his ability to spray past it against Spurs. So there you go. A few people agreeing with me. In midfield, Up front, personally, I'm going to come back to the midfield. Up front, I would personally, if J-Rod is fit to play, have Weghorst and Jay up front, and in midfield. So in midfield, I'd have Brownhill and Corke, and then you've got I'd have Dwight on one wing, Corney on one of the wings, or we go in Lennon. You know, I'd have Corney in there, but I don't know. Corney, I love Corney, and he was so good in the first half of the season, but then it's one of them that he's not been good enough recently for me. And even on Saturday, was it Saturday we played Spurs? No, it was Sunday, weren't it? Even on Sunday against Spurs, he just didn't look, not disinterested, but he wasn't getting the ball, holding it up well enough. I still feel that he would suit a different system better. Same with Weghorst, but for what we wanted from the Spurs, I don't feel that he would have that he did very well, and I don't think he'd do very well again tonight in the same sort of game. Maybe tonight might suit him better because we've been more inclined to do a few more counter attacks rather than just sitting back all the time like we did against Spurs. So who knows? Maybe Lawton. Sorry, not Lawton. I've just seen a comment saying Lawton. So maybe Cornet and Dwight on the wings, and you can switch them around. So a lot of people maybe interested in Dwight getting a free role. That seems to be a debate that's going around for a while. Excuse me. Joe Clark says, "Are Tarky and Jay defo fit?" This isn't definite, mate. These are the rumours. Someone commented earlier that Jay was fit, and I've heard a rumour, not from an official source or a source that you're all thinking of, excuse me, that Tarky is fit for tonight. These are just rumours. I've not put it out there on Twitter and gone, oh, I know that he's a fit. Am I 2K? Because I'm not 100% certain it's going to happen. So it's not 100%. And it is what it is. Just going back to the team selection, Chris says, don't think we need 5 at the back if Tarky is back. I would rather have a 4-4-2 to keep the balance in midfield. Fair enough. If Tarky is back, then yeah, you probably would trust a 4 at the back more than what you would do without Tarky. So that's fair point. And then he goes on to say, but if there is no Tarky, then we're going to go with 5 at the back as we did against Spurs. Yeah, fair enough. Tarky and Collins have the centre of defence covered when playing together. Yeah. Fair enough. Joe Clark says, I just want Weghorst to do actually something, man. Yeah, and we've discussed Weghorst a lot on this channel, so we won't go too much into it, but he hasn't been... like I said earlier to the chap, the Villa chap, I never actually got his name. Sorry, mate. I was on a fans bet show recently, and they said, what's been the one disappointment this season for you? And mine is, so far, it's Weghorst. Because he came in January. Obviously, we just lost Chris Ward. And he wasn't going to be the saviour of the season, but I expected decent things from him. So I thought he was going to come in and do better than what he's done. Do better than what he's done, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I am a little bit disappointed that he hasn't been able to do as well as what we were hoping. Fingers crossed he can bag a brace tonight, and all will be forgiven if we win 2-3-0. And Weghorst is the main guy. But if he's been playing if his recent form is anything to go by, I would suspect it's probably Barnes and Corney up top if Jay isn't fit. Chris Novak is in. So see, these are the rumours, mate. This is what I'm saying about. There's no guarantees about Jay or Tarky. This is a rumour from Chris. I heard that Tarky is in, but Jay Rodriguez is not. But you never know. Could be false news to put Villa off the scent. It could be. Or, as we all are aware, these are just rumours that we're all talking about. Nobody actually knows what's going on because none of us work for the football club. So it is what it is. But thank you. I'm going to wrap it up here anyway. So if you want to, because my camera's going mental now, it's freezing every 5 seconds. And it's not a good look, is it? It's not a good look. Just one more comment. Chris, again, he says Weghorst needs at least a full season to get Premier League fit. I like it how we've changed from Daesh fit to Premier League fit now. There's a lot of truth that lad that Daesh applied wrongly to Corney, who is better suited to the PL. Yeah, I do. It's one of them. I don't think Corney and Weghorst will be here if we go down. I think they will both leave. It's interesting to see what will happen in the summer, especially Corney. I think he did enough in the first half of the season to have people want to buy him, especially for the release clause, which is 17.5 million. Someone will buy him for that. It's not a lot of money, is it, these days? I mean, I wish I had 10% of that, obviously, but in footballing terms, it's not a lot of money. But that's it. Like I said, I'm going to wrap the show up here. Thank you, everybody. It's good to see the same names in the chat again. I'm trying to wrap up where people keep making comments that I want to talk about. Yeah, it was good to see Corney. It was at the Texaco garage. It was a picture of him yesterday going viral that his Lamborghini, which it shouldn't be in Burnley anyway, was at the Texaco garage in Padiham, and Corney's just there filling it up, happy as Larry, giving a thumbs up to the guy who took the picture. And that Lambo is nice. That Lambo is nice, isn't it? But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Like I said, we have hit 1,000 subscribers now, so super chats are available. I'm not doing memberships because I don't really see the point. But super chats are available if you want to support the channel. If not, just like the video now because it helps the YouTube algorithm and it will help more people see it because obviously the live is ending now, but obviously it stays on YouTube for you to watch at your leisure. So if you are just joining now, you can, when I finish the broadcast in 30 seconds, you can just go back and watch it all. And if you're watching now and you need to go out, don't worry, because the first thing I'm going to do is put the podcast out there on the podcast app. So that should be ready in about 15 minutes. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm going to do a watch along live tonight for the first 15 minutes of the Everton game and then the Burnley game. So fingers crossed my little boy is in bed by then and he's not sat behind me ruining the live, going, Daddy, Daddy, like he does every time. But I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be behind me. But thanks, everybody, for watching. I will be live tonight at around 7:40, I think, for the watch along. And then we'll be live again for the full-time show with Simon and hopefully some more guests. I know, Mike, you said earlier on, if you're still here, that you want to be in it. If we haven't got enough Burnley fans, I'll definitely get you on, Mike. But we being such a big game, we'll try and get a few Burnley fans on. But if nobody wants to come on, Mike, I'll definitely use you. But thanks, everyone, for watching. Like I said, I'll be live again tonight at 7:40.